Hello students, in the online classes of B.Sc Part 2nd Bio in paper 2nd we are studying about the endocrine glands, and in this series today we will study the endocrine functions of the gonads. Both testes and ovaries, in addition to their role as reproductive gamete producing organs, also function as endocrine structures and secrete the sex steroid hormones. A steroid hormone, such as the estrogen in females or testosterone in males, are produced specially by the ovaries, testes, or adrenal cortex, and they affect the growth or function of the reproductive organs or the development of the secondary sexual characteristics. First, we will take up the male sex hormones. The male sex hormones are usually referred to as androgens, that means male producing, and the principal male sex hormone is testosterone. There are other less important androgens also, which include androsterone, epiandrosterone, and dihydroepiandrosterone. All the androsterones are steroid compounds synthesized from cholesterol or directly from the acetyl coenzyme A, which occurs within the cell of Leydig and is under the control of gonadotropic hormone of pituitary gland. The functions of the male sex hormones. First, the functions of testosterone during the fetal life. The hormone begins to be elaborated by the males at about the second month of embryonic development, probably by the male chromosome and the chorionic gonadotropins. This hormonal impact brings the differentiation and development of male fetal organs like the external genitalia, the scrotum, the testes, the prostate gland, and the genital ducts. The testes usually descend into the scrotal sacs during the last 2 months of gestation, when they have started secreting some quantity of testosterone. Failure of testes to descend into the scrotal sacs renders the testes sterile. Now, testosterone and puberty. The role of testosterone at puberty. During the first 10 to 12 years of life, the male child produces almost no gonadotropins. Remember this, no gonadotropins, and consequently almost very little testosterone. Then the anterior pituitary begins to secrete the increasing quantities of gonadotropic hormones, mainly the luteinizing hormone, which stimulates the interstitial cells of Leydig to secrete testosterone, which is followed by an overall increase in the testicular functions during the 11 to 13 years of age. This onset of the sexual life is termed as puberty. Then the role of testosterone and primary and secondary sexual characteristics. The testosterone secretion after puberty causes the development of male sex organs. Besides, the hormone also causes the development of secondary sexual characteristics. And what are these? It is the distribution of hair on the body, distribution of hair on chest and face, and also causes the growth of the pubic hair. The voice in the case of males becomes heavier and masculine. Testosterone increases the thickness of the integument and also causes an increase in pigmentation. The male hormone is also responsible for the development of heavier and more massive endoskeleton in the case of males. The testosterone is also responsible for a higher number of red blood cells in male individuals. Another function of testosterone, it is the regulation of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis begins at puberty and it continues to some extent throughout the life of a male individual. The follicle stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary causes the conversion of the primary spermatocytes to the secondary spermatocytes. And the testosterone is also essential for spermatogenesis to occur, and final metamorphosis of the spermatids is brought about by the luteinizing hormone of the anterior pituitary, forming the mature sperms. Now the female sex hormones. The female sex hormones are the estrogen, progesterone and relaxin. First we will study the hormone estrogen. Secretion of estrogens is stimulated by the FSH, the follicle stimulating hormone of the anterior pituitary. Estrogen have the following main functions. The effects of estrogen on primary and secondary sexual characteristics. The fallopian tubes, the uterus and the external genitalia increase in size. The uterine endometrium increases in size and the thickness and becomes highly glandular. Then the effects of estrogen on primary and secondary sexual characteristics. Estrogen causes fat deposition in the mammary tissue, initiating the growth of breast. Estrogens also cause an increase in the growth of endoskeleton, broadening of pelvis, and uniting of the epiphysis with the shafts of long bones. Female hormones are also responsible for an increase in the total body proteins and deposition of fats. Estrogens give a soft and fair texture to the skin of females. Then the effect of estrogen on endometrial cycle. The cyclic production of estrogen causes an endometrial cycle in the uterine wall. During the first phase of the cycle, increasing quantities of estrogen rapidly proliferate the cells of stroma and uterine epithelium. Then comes the effect of estrogen on ovarian follicles. The growth and development of ovarian follicles followed by the formation of a single mature ovum and its ovulation is a phenomena of the combined effects of FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone, and estrogen and luteinizing hormone. The next hormone, female hormone, is the progesterone. Progesterone is the second main female hormone of steroid origin. In a non-pregnant female, progesterone is secreted by the corpus luteum during the latter half of each ovarian cycle and also during pregnancy. It is mainly produced by the placenta. Progesterone has the following functions. The hormone brings about secretory changes in the uterine endometrium, thus prepares the uterus for implantation of embryo and for its nourishment. Progesterone promotes the development of the lobules and alveoli of the mammary glands, which enlarge and become secretory in nature. The third important function of progesterone is it prevents and desensitizes the effect of oxytocin on the uterine muscles. The hormone brings about the secretory phase of the endometrial cycle during the latter half. And the progesterone also prevents further ovulation in case of implantation of the embryo in the uterus. The third hormone is the female sex hormone is relaxin. In addition to progesterone, corpus luteum of some mammals like guinea pig, mouse, rabbit, dog, and cow, they produce a second hormone termed relaxin. Relaxin is a proteinaceous hormone secreted by the ovaries under special physiological conditions. Relaxin serves to dilate the pubic symphysis and thus facilitates parturition or childbirth. So, these were the sex hormones, both male and female. So, the gonads also have a endocrine function in addition to their reproductive functions. In the next class, we will take up another endocrine gland. Till then, thank you.